Hello all. Today we are going to see about the Shakespeare's one of the famous and very masterpiece, famous play and a masterpiece, the Othello. The Tragedy of Othello or The Moor of Venice, written by William Shakespeare. This is basically a tragedy story like the other tragedies of Shakespeare. This is also another tragedy which is a really pathetic situation of the protagonist and his lover. So let's see what's happening. So written by Shakespeare and William Shakespeare born on Stratford upon Avon, Warwickshire in England, and he was baptized in April 26, 1564, and his date of birth is unknown. But in some cases, it's said that his date of birth is on 23rd April 1564. Okay, but in originally only his baptized date is known. Okay, so next, who is Shakespeare? So regarded as the greatest writer in English language and the world's preeminent dramatist, called as English national poet, he was coined as Bard of Avon, the most popular playwright in England. He has written comedies, histories, tragedies, and poetries. Author of famous tragedy playwright, like his famous tragedies are Romeo Juliet, Antony Cleopatra, and Julius Caesar, Othello, King Lear, Macbeth. They have not mentioned here, because there are various things. Okay, now we can see the setting of the play, the Othello. This play, the Othello, begins in Venice and in the island of Cyprus thereafter. So actually, this begins in the place Venice and ends in the place Cyprus. Okay, the time was like 16th century during the war between Venice and Turkish. Okay, this was a setting is between Venice and Turkey. War between Venice and Turkey. And let's see the characters. So characters of this play are Othello is the hero, Desdemona heroine, Iago is the villain, Michel Cassio is the Cassio lieutenant and friend of Othello, Emilia is the wife of Iago, Rodrigo is friend of Iago who is in love with Desdemona, Bianca, Brabantio, Duke of Venice, Montano, Lodovico, and Grassanio, Clown. These are the very main characters of the play. So now let's see about Othello. The play's protagonist and hero, a Christian Mew and general of the armies of Venice, Othello is an eloquent and physical powerful figure respected by all those around him. So Othello is the protagonist and the hero. He's a Christian Moor and he is in love with the Desdemona, and is one of eminent character, is a very powerful character, and he is also respected by each and every man in Venice, and everyone likes him very much. Okay. Next is the Desdemona, who is lover of Othello, daughter of Venetian senator Brabantio. Brabantio is the Venetian senator. Desdemona and Othello are secretly married before the play begins, and Pumic, self-possessed and determined. She is self-possessed with herself, and she is very determined about things. She is equally capable of defending her marriage, jesting boldly with Iago, and responding with dignity to Othello's incomprehensible jealousy. Okay, so she also she loves Othello very much, not because of his color, but only because of his character. She loves him very much, and they gets married. Okay, then the next character is Iago, like Othello's ensign, a job also known as an ancient or standard bearer, like who is accompanying him. And the villain of the play, Iago, is 28-year-old old. Michel Cassio or Cassio is Othello's lieutenant. Cassio is his friend, is the inexperienced soldier whose high position is much resented by Iago, truly devoted to Othello. Cassio is extremely ashamed after being implicated in drunken brawl on Cyprus and losing his place in lieutenant. Iago causes Cassio's youth, good look, and friendship with Desdemona to play on Othello's insecurity about Desdemona's fidelity. Okay, so I have described about this, I think so. Then Emilia is Iago's wife, Desdemona's attendant, is initial worldly human. She is deeply attached to her mistress and distrustful of her husband. Like Emilia is very sincere to Desdemona, and she is very disturbed with her husband, Iago. Next character is Rodrigo. Rodrigo is a jealous suitor of Desdemona. He always wanted to marry Desdemona. He is young, rich, and also a foolish person. Rodrigo is convinced that if he gives Iago all of his money, Iago will help him to marry Desdemona. Desdemona, like that, he cheats and gets many money. Rodrigo is ultimately desperate enough to agree to help Iago to kill Cassio after Iago points out that Cassio is another potential rival for Desdemona. Like he's like a foolish, and Iago tells that these are the problems for his marriage. So and Rodrigo is ready to do anything, and he will kill. He's ready to kill even Cassio also. And these are the very minor characters like Courtsman. Okay. Next, Brabantio. Brabantio is Desdemona's father. Like he's a Venetian senator. Like Brabantio feels betrayed when the general marries his daughter in secret uh, by marrying. Like Othello was like he was a general, and as he married a Venetian senator's daughter, he feels like betrayed. Okay. Then the Duke of Venice, his name is Montano. Like he is the person like sorry, like the Duke of Venice is the higher official, like who solves the problem between Othello and Brabantio and sent Othello to Cyprus. Montana is a governor of Cyprus. Before Othello, we see him in the first act too. Montana is a person Cassio drinks, and without knowing he attacks Montano. This Lodovico, these are all the very minor characters like servants, and Gratian is also servant. Very clown is also very small characters. Okay, now we can enter into the plot of the play. So plot of the play in the sense like you might have studied like for a story, like there will be exposition, then there will be rising action, there will be climax, falling action, resolution. So now let's see what are the exposition, or what is meant by exposition. Exposition in the sense the starting scenes like introduction or the problems, starting stage of the problems or the incident what is going to happen. So in this play, Othello and Desdemona are married, and but they are married in secret, and that was not revealed, but it was revealed to her father. Okay, so this Othello and Desdemona marry and attempt to build their life together despite the difference in age, race, and experience. Their marriage is sabotaged by the envious Iago, who convinces Othello that Desdemona is unfaithful. This is the exposition, or a very short summary, or what is going to happen. Actually, this Othello and Desdemona marry in secret, and even though they were having many problems, they get married. But this Iago changes the mind of or adds the poison into the mind of Othello, and makes Othello thinks that Desdemona is unfaithful, and their relation gets stuck there. Okay, now let's see what is the rising action. So rising action is Iago tells the audience of the scheme, arranges for Cassio to lose his position as lieutenant, and gradually insinuates to Othello that Desdemona is Othello and faithful. So rising action in the sense like Iago tells that anyhow we have to break the relation with Othello and Desdemona. In order, he uses a tool as Cassio. So Cassio, first of all he wanted to remove Cassio from his position, as like he did. Then later he shows to Othello that Cassio and Desdemona is having a relation. So you must be very aware of them. So Desdemona is unfaithful. Like this, Iago tells and adds poison into the mind of Othello. Yeah, okay, and shows that Desdemona is very unfaithful. So that's the rising action, and also he adds many incidents like the kerchief of Desdemona, and the talk of Casio and Desdemona, like that. These all scenes Casio uses to make Othello believe that Desdemona and Casio is having some relation, and Desdemona is very much unfaithful to him. Okay, so next we can see the climax. The climax occurs at the end of Act 3, Scene 3, when Othello kneels with Iago and vows not to change course until he has achieved bloody revenge. In the Act 3 and Scene 3, like Othello tells to Iago so not to tell to anyone about this matter, like Desdemona has betrayed Othello. So at this point, Othello wants to kill his wife Desdemona, who has betrayed him, and he plans to kill his wife. Okay, Othello plans to kill his wife and enter into the room. So, yeah, okay, and that's the climax there. Now, the falling action. Now, let's see what is the falling action. So, Iago plants the handkerchief in Cassio's room and later rearranges conversation with Cassio, which Othello watches and sees a proof the Cassio and Desdemona have slept together. Iago unsuccessfully attempts to kill Cassio, and Othello smoothes Desdemona with a pillow. Emilia exposes Iago's deception. Othello kills himself, and Iago is taken away to be tortured. Okay, so in the following action, like Iago, yeah, like I said earlier, like Iago does some things with the handkerchief, and Cassio, like shows that Cassio and Desdemona is having some relation to Othello, believing that Othello kills Desdemona with a pillow, and yeah, finally, Emilia, wife of Iago, enters and tells the whole truth that Iago was planning a plot against him, for that he has revenged him. On hearing that, Othello kills himself, and finally, Cassio becomes the head there, and Iago is arrested, and even he will be killed in the action. Okay, next, resolution. Yeah, I think this might not be needed. Anyway, I'm just reading it. The interview of Othello is watching Iago work is manipulative magic. The deception grow bit by bit until Othello is quite enraged by his own jealousy thoughts. The plot thickens and thickens, and the complications twist and turn until we finally arrive at the psychological climax. Othello's declaration that he will kill his wife. We chose this as climax rather than actual killing because we are building towards Iago's defeat of Othello's mind and not Othello's defeat of Desdemona's body. So the main climax, like I said earlier, the climax is that when Othello decides to kill his wife, that is the actual climax, because Othello and Desdemona were that close, but Iago added poison little by little to his mind and changed Othello completely, and he decided to kill his beloved wife. So that is the climax of the story. Okay. And same way, minutes after she dies, Emilia figures out that Iago is responsible for a whole mess. And minute after Othello is killed, Emilia turns up and tells that this was a thing which was all done by Iago. When she stares, when she shares this, Othello and his man Iago kills her. Iago kills his wife. Othello, broken by grief and guilt, stabs himself, and almost everyone dies. Like Othello kills Cassio also, and finally Othello kills himself and he dies there. Okay. So finally, the incompatibility of military heroism and love, the danger of isolation, jealousy. So these are the major themes of the play: the incompatibility of military heroism and love. Actually, even if you take, there is some great connection between this military heroism and love. Most of the girls, like even if you see some movies, like most of the girls of the higher officials, like the senator or the king, they will be in love with the soldiers or the generals, army lieutenant, like that they'll be in love. That's what they're describing. The danger of isolation. The second theme is the danger of isolation, which means like when one is separated, like for example, uh, Othello and Cassio were a very close friend, but when Cassio was removed from him, like Othello was all alone and he was isolated there. And when one is isolated and when one feels lonely, if someone come and speak very sweet words, we don't see the evil face in him. We only see the good face. So same thing happens in here, and things goes wrong. And finally, the jealousy. Jealousy in the sense, jealousy is a very dangerous tool every man have, and most of them control them. So those who are not able to control, they'll be in a big trouble, like in this play Othello. And finally, the message of this play is you need to be able to trust your significant other, and they need to be able to trust you. Like if you are trusting anyone, like they should trust you. Who you put your trust is in does matter, and if you don't trust those who you are closest to, things can go wrong. Yeah, so the thing is, like, you should have trust in everything. For example, even if you are having a small doubt, or you are feeling something wrong about your friend, just go, open your mouth and just asking, and everything will be solved there, instead of making it more complicated. Okay, and finally, the conclusion. The love consumes all those who take part in it, and in Othello's case, his love for Desdemona has blinded him, and it gave Iago a chance to corrupt him so easily. The wicked emotion of jealousy not only resulted in the death of three Othello's main characters, it caused the sudden death of innocent characters as well. As the thing which they are saying is, love is a good thing, but loving a person blindly is not a good thing. Okay, so that's what this Othello describes, and that's it. And if you are having any doubts, like, you can just call me up. Thank you.